Hi, welcome back, and it's Darlene here with Tinge of Bravery, and I'm continuing to keep up on these hopefully daily posts, but after this one in particular, I'm gonna have to really get caught up on a couple of weeks and just kind of bringing you up to speed on everything that's happened. I am sitting in my car at my daughter's practice, and so I know it might sound kind of strange, but I hope it still sounds pretty good. I usually record from inside my bedroom, and I really like how that sound um, makes the video sound. Um, that was a lot of sounds in my sentence. Anyway, yeah, so this is kind of awkward for me, even though I used to do a lot of videos from my car, and I took to recording them more from home because it just kind of made more sense to me, and I wasn't spending as much time in my car. Well, now I'm back, and I want to get this recorded for a couple of reasons. Because when I decided to take you on this journey, I decided that whatever I was going to write was going to be what I was going to record and videotape, and it was pretty much just going to be like this daily journal of what's going on in my life and how I'm feeling with this anxiety that I have found myself immersed in. And so, like I said in my last video, I want to see like the difference between, without medication, or, trying to focus more on God's purpose and what He's trying to reveal to me, to later on when, I can look back and figure out, how I've changed, or how I got stronger, how I handle things better. So the reason why I bring that all up is because this actually, what I've written here, was actually written down from a couple of weeks ago, but I do want to stay on track. And so this particular post I wrote is from December 15th. After this one, I'm all caught up with everything I had written up to that point. I didn't do a lot of writing the last couple of weeks because my daughter is back from college, and I started my pills, and it's just kind of taken me through a lot of different changes emotionally and physically. So, and I will absolutely get to that. Okay, so find me on Apple, Spotify, Tinge of Bravery, as well as on YouTube, and please share and subscribe if you would. All right, let me get right to this. So, the last time I spoke to you guys, I was heading to the doctor to do the stress test, and kind of went through all that, and going through the tube scanner thingy, and thinking a lot about what God is trying to reveal to me. So in this particular writing, it is Friday, and I got the test results back, and they showed that I am normal, which to me, normal means that there was nothing seriously wrong with my heart. So that is a very good thing. However, it's assumed that all the heart pounding that even to this day I continue to feel early in the morning is an inability, and the inability to breathe is a result of anxiety. I did contact the doctor that I went and saw, or the register nurse, and she said, yeah, give the medication, a few weeks or more to really settle into my system. And I'm doing that at this point. But at the time of this writing, I had the pills for a while. I had not taken them to that date. I picked them up one afternoon, and it was right before we were leaving for Kansas City for my youngest daughter to go see her boyfriend Russell. And I just wanted to try taking them at a strategic time each day, because I knew that they were going to, really kind of mess with me and my system. So I had yet to really think about when that was a good time. But anyway, so this particular day, We were driving to see her boyfriend Russell an hour away. What we had not accounted for was the rain and construction and the extremely large school where he was at and the 100 entrances. A lot of sarcasm there, and as many gyms, even in this particular school, more sarcasm. That caused us to take like an extra 20 to 25 minutes just to get there. I am absolutely horrible at driving in the rain, even though I tolerate it and to take my time. Obviously, that doesn't help me any at all, as you know, I'm trying to deal with trying to remain calm and content in this journey that I'm on. But nonetheless, drove in the rain. Once inside, realized that, you know, I've never been to a wrestling match, so I didn't know what to expect, but it was one of those sit and wait until the athletes get to their weight class. So that night, we didn't even get to see him wrestle. I really, really dislike that because mostly because we paid an entrance fee of $10. And so once inside, I really had to find reason, you know, to find the good in it. And the one good thing that I found was, you know, at least my daughter got to be there for him, and she got to sit there with, you know, her boyfriend while he waited. And, you know, I think that was a good thing. In addition to that, I had taken a sandwich with me, and so I found a little area outside, not outside, but in the lobby, where I just kind of sat and did some reading, and that makes me happy. I think I mentioned that before, like when like the cafeteria I talk about, you know, those things really make me feel comfortable, and they give me a lot of comfort. It's just kind of like a security thing to me, like when I can find a small space or an area where I can just kind of like eat in peace, read, you know, scan through, you know, my phone, whatever. So I found some really good in that because I really needed it after driving in that rain. But when I mentioned, you know, like we still had to pay the entrance fee, you know, that's something I really dislike. And that is I pay too much attention to money at times. You know, one of these days, I really hope I'm not going to worry about money. You know, when will that be? I don't know. God has, you know, all the answers, but it does kind of make me want to like throw my hands up, like, when, God, when will that be where I'm not worrying about it? And, you know, there's a lot of that particular subject that I could really talk about. Because like once the girl's dad died, you know, obviously things had to change, and I probably shouldn't get into that, but I think that does contribute a lot, like, to my anxiety and my stress at times, because I just want my girls to be content and happy and not have to worry about, you know, how much we're spending. Not that we spend like an exorbitant amount on dumb things or anything like that. It's not like that. It's just like when you want to do something outside of the norm, you just don't want to have to think about if you have even like the extra $50 for it. Okay, so does that make sense? I'm not greedy or anything like that. Anyway, I probably didn't have to even get into that. But so I think to myself about that, and I wrote down after that, you know, God is probably really laughing at me when I talk about these things, because, you know, he's probably really trying to help me focus on the fact that that's not the point of living. You know, the point of living is to trust him. And I do. I mean, I really do believe I trust him, definitely more so now than I ever did way back, when I used to like really worry excessively. So at least I'm not like that horrible anymore. But anyway, moving on here. As I was driving through the rain, anytime I drive through like rain, snow, really windy weather or something, I always think back to this particular time when I was a teenager, and um, and I was with my friend. We were probably right around 14 at the time, maybe 13 or something. I don't know. But anyway, we had her mom drive us to a basketball game all the way across town. And this was a time when, there was not the paved road to this particular high school that there is now. Um, and it was literally in the middle of a blizzard. But her mom was just so accommodating and so patient that she agreed to take us to this basketball game. And my friend Kim, she kept trying to talk to her mom. I don't know what, but what I do distinctly remember was as she's trying to talk to her mom, the mom saying, don't talk to me right now, Kim. I'm trying to stay in the ruts, deep snow ruts. So I think about that all the time when I'm focusing on the road and maybe my daughter tries to talk to me, or in this particular case, as we're driving from the wrestling match to her clinic, which was part of the other reason why we were in Kansas City, because she had like this volleyball clinic afterwards anyway. So as we're driving from the match to her clinic, it's still raining, okay? And what does she do? She changes the screen display on my car to put some music on. And I'll admit, like, my heart kind of flared up a little bit because my display was showing me the directions of where I was going. And I have to tell her, don't do that because I need to see where I'm going. And I think to myself, man, well, later once I get to my location, because now I'm just kind of like focusing on driving. But I think to myself, man, times have changed. One day you're the kid interrupting your mom who is concentrating on staying in the ruts in the road, and the next day you're the mom concentrating on your GPS in your Subaru. I mean, same concept, right? Does that make sense? But I think it also plays into a lot of how quickly time does go by and how quickly our journeys do change. So anyway, that was our day and our evening. And once I got home that night, I whipped up some leftovers and hot chocolate, and I went to bed, pulled out my computer because I was still working on my new website that is a blog online, and I had not thought about a name for it yet. I do have a name for it now, but I'm going to reveal that to you in my next post. But I was really excited because I had a lot of content built up at the time, and so that made me feel good because I'm not usually ahead on things. Anyway, that next day, we were going to be leaving once again early in the morning to go back to her boyfriend's wrestling match, which it did work out at that particular time. We did get to see him wrestle, so that was pretty cool. And then to her volleyball scrimmage afterwards. So we spent a lot of time an hour away in Kansas City. One of these days, I kind of wonder if I would ever live here. Excuse me. I don't think so, but who knows what God has in store. And of course, a lot of things play into that factor. So anyway, had not started the pills. I think I started them a day or two after that, and so I cannot wait to get you caught up on that. But anyway, thank you so much for following this journey of mine as I'm going through it. And now I actually am very excited to just literally record and write down everything on a daily basis. And by the way, if you're listening to this on my podcast and I say something to the effect of like, hey, I was going to record this without makeup, but I put makeup on, It's because these are first coming through on YouTube, and then I take the audio only and post it on my podcast, which I think is pretty clever of me because it's kind of like two things at once. So, anyway, this is me bringing you along on this journey. Thank you so much. I am going to call it quits for the evening and probably get into my daughter's practice and talk to you guys so very soon. Please share, subscribe, check me out on Apple and Spotify, Tinge of Bravery, and the next time you see me, I will reveal the name of my online blog, and I want to have you there with me following that as well. Okay, talk to you guys later. Take care. Thanks for tuning in.